why I have high blood pressure, because of these emails and the suffering I'm going through. Wallahu musta'an. The first that I would like to share with you is an email which I received. The title was "A Beautiful Story About Qur'an." The story is about a man in America, and the story sounds pretty American, but the media of America, not Muslims in America. He's from Eastern Kentucky, and this is an old man who has a grandson. Every morning he would read the Qur'an. Okay? Now his grandson wanted to imitate his grandfather. So he told him, I'm trying to do everything you do. So I read the Qur'an also. However, I don't understand it. And whatever I do understand, I quickly forget as soon as I close the book. So his grandfather was about to put some coal in a stove. He turned around, he said, take this, I'll show you what it is, this basket, this coal basket, and go fill it up with water and bring the water back to me. And there's a river close by. So the boy goes, he dips it in the water, he comes out, you can see there's holes in it. So as he's running back home, the water is leaking through the holes. He made it there with nothing. So his grandfather laughed at him, said, you must be a little faster. Why don't you go back and try to run faster so you will be able to bring some water back with you. So the boy said, he thought to himself, this is pointless, but I will still do it. He went a second time, same thing happened. Then the third time his grandfather told him, go again and be as fast as you can. And the boy said, okay, just to prove it, I know that it's not going to happen, but I will listen to my grandfather. So he went back, he came back again with no water in the basket. He told him, see grandpa, it's useless. So the grandfather told him, is it really useless? Look at the basket. The basket became clean. Earlier, it was a coal basket. There was black tar or whatever all inside. Now it has become clean. So here's the genius grandfather. He told him, so son, that's what happens when you read the Qur'an. You might not understand or remember anything, but when you read it, you will be changed, inside and out. That is the work of Allah in our lives. Wow. Sounds nice, huh? How wonderful. How wonderful. This is what the Qur'an is supposed to do. You just read it, don't understand it, don't remember it. It will just change you. It's a miracle. Well, guess what? This is straight up un-Islamic. Actually, this is the ideology of those who want to keep us ignorant about Islam. And this is something that the Muslims are suffering from on a large scale today. Ritualism. In Ramadan, we take the Qur'an off the shelf and, clean off the dust. And we read. We don't have no idea. We have no idea what we're reading. When Ramadan is over, close it back, put in a nice, lofty cloth and put it back on the shelf. Make sure it's on the top. Nothing is above it, and khalas. The Qur'an will somehow come into your life and change you. Is this the deen of Allah? I don't know. Here's the ayah. كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ إِلَيْكَ مُبَارَكٌ لِيَدَّبَّرُوا آيَاتِهِ وَلِيَتَذَكَّرَ أُولُو الْأَلْبَابِ. This is a blessed book which we reveal to you, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that they might reflect upon its verses, and that those of understanding would be reminded. Not so that you will read and you'll be cleaned inside out. You cannot be cleaned inside out. If you wanted to become a doctor, okay, and you went to school and you memorized the book of medicine, but you have no idea what the words mean. Let's say it's in Italian, okay? And if I bring you here to the lecture, you sit next to me and you can read a whole page in Italian. Then I ask you, okay, what did you say? Oh, I don't know. So are you ready for the surgery? Sure. Why? I've memorized the book of medicine. My friend, you don't know what it says. You don't know the application. You don't know the way to implement. You have memorized. This email, it doesn't even allow memorization. It says you don't even have to memorize it. Yani memorizing is half a problem. Say, no, no, no. You just read, just like the basket. And the Qur'an will clean you inside out. This is the work of Allah in our lives. I don't know, man. Second problem. Recitation without comprehension and implementation has been refuted by Allah Azza wa Jal. When Allah wanted to criticize the people of the book, who had the same issue, Allah said about them, وَمِنْهُمْ أُمِّيُّونَ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ الْكِتَابَ إِلَّا أَمَانِي وَإِنْهُمْ إِلَّا يَظُنُّونَ. And among them are unlettered ones, who do not know the scripture except wishful thinking, but they are only assuming. Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhu an Abi said this means wishful thinking is tilawa. They only know recitation. In our modern day, tajweed. He's a big mujawwid. He has learned the rules of ahkam of tajweed, khalas. But Allah criticized them for this quality. He said they are unlettered, meaning they are ignorant, they are uneducated. They know nothing of the book but recitation. So the grandfather was telling his grandson, no problem, you don't have to understand, you don't have to read, you don't have to memorize, just read the Qur'an, it will clean you inside out. Now you may not pay attention, you may receive the email and say, wow, that was a wonderful email. But these are subliminal messages, my brothers and sisters in Islam. These are subliminal messages aimed at destroying our mentality and our relationship with the deen of Islam. And the children are already suffering from this, let alone given in this email which appears to be a nice wonderful story. And so they will be more inclined towards just simply memorizing the Qur'an or just reading the Qur'an without understanding what is being said. Third problem, the grandfather's statement, son, that's what happens when you read the Qur'an. You might not understand or remember anything, but when you read it, you will be changed inside out. That is the work of Allah in our lives. This is like Christianity. This is Hindu, Buddhist, concept of how God works in people's lives in all miraculous ways. They're living in a fantasy land. It's unreal. But we in Islam, we know that there's effort, there's sa'i, there's effort we will exert so we may attain Allah's pleasure. It is not merely reciting the book of Allah. There's more and more to it.